hamster hears and I obey. Let's spill some blood. Don't linger. No holding back. I know just what to do. It's Paladin.
Ready for another round?
So much for peace. Another fight. Let's go.
Lend your strength.
Time to push my luck again. Time to press ahead.
go hunting.
Sacrifice in our name.
Invedia! Witching hour. It shall be done. sooner split his skull, but as you wish. Time to kill. This is my time.
Onward.
Well, so much for peace.
It is already over. look further, ease my way.
Justice is not so gentle.
The dance macabre. Over here.
Is my happy place.
Still on my feet.
No rest, be you wicked or wise. to waste. Talk to me. On I go.
Death is but a word away. On my way.
Where do I go from here?
To arms! Wait, no! To swords!
Time for a cull. Quickly. This is my time.
Down the hatch. You still have time to surrender.
That was close. No doubt there'll be others. Breathe deep and move. Cursed to put my hands on everything. Looks like part of the Netherbrain, but we'll need to be higher up to climb it.
Not here. Rise. Join. Waiting.
I suppose we'll need to find somewhere higher up.
some courage.
Weep if you wish. Minsk will not judge.
You've made a grave mistake. Blood comes easy these days.
I'm kicking for goodness!
Mutilate them.
I have missed this. The adventure, the danger, the kicking of butts. Charge! But charge quietly.
Coming through.
Sliced and burned, dashed and diced. They will be.
Subjugate. My path be true.
What fools these mortals be.
Let's go with fire, baby. Moving. Can't give up. Not now. Consider my hackles raised.
You will bleed for her glory. Dragons will burn them to ash.
Yes.
Ignis!
Let's move. Forever dauntless.
Impero!
But another harvest.
Just push through! Reach the brain!
Come on, can't stay idle.
This. This way. Can we fight now? Who is not used to this taking of turns? No holding back.
those ranks.
Got to move. Red in tooth and claw. The straight path.
Butt kicking! For goodness!
I'm ready. Yes, here.
You point, I punch.
This is my time.
All right, Karlak, it's go time. I won't give in. Another step forward.
One can't always be a gentleman.
lesser
Please,
warrior.
help me.
Although, it's a lot of blood.
More like this! Punch through them and get to the brain!
Might help.
Victory awaits.
Still breathing, despite everything. With haste.
Swallow your battle cries, fiend, and wash them down with steel! Villainous face meet virtuous fist!
Making my move. This feels good. Keep guessing. Battle favors the fearless. Step to it.
Time to strike.
My turn. Incoming.
Oh, I think this one is slowing me down.
What's the plan? On the move.
This will do nicely.
Go for the eyes, Boo!
On the victor's path.
No choice but to keep going.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Some healing might help.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Can't you feel it? We're almost there. Once we ascend, the Netherbrain stem will be in touching distance of the crown. But reclaiming the powers of Karsus himself. I'm ready. Are you?
You urged me to this point, and now you falter? What would you have me do? Sacrifice myself and hope that Mystra eulogizes my ashes?
Then I think it's about time we ascended. Don't you?
The site of power, the site of domination.
I know everything about you. Your thoughts, your feelings, your weaknesses. And so do they.
The crown! Cast the spell on it!
Nothing will stand in my way.
ready for this.
Swords meet sorcery.
Witness perfection. To it.
Bye forever, pal.
Who breaks the hearts? Mince breaks the bones.
Battle favors the fearless.
the crown and cast the spell.
That's it.
Butt kicking, for goodness!
On the victor's path. Finding my way.
Can't even catch my breath.
Execute.
I'll strike you down.
But another harvest.
Surrender. You have already failed.
How my skull shines? You might see the fever in your old eyes! Let's have some company.
Favors the fearless.
Never a dull moment. May the gods take you first.
Feel it. A sudden shift. The brain is weakening. Its grasp of itself slipping. This is your chance. Cannot. Will not. Submit. Even bound, its will is stronger than anything you've ever felt. Chains shake, threatening to break at any moment. Feeble. Resistance.
Its will is weakening. Let's finish.
fast when I need to.
I am fury. I am death. Make way. It's now or never. Inside.
Moving.
Its will is weakening. We have the upper hand. Time to end this.
In striking distance.
You will not enter.
Wretched thing! Time to die! Someone hold Baldur!
Its will is weakening! Heating up.
Quickly.
Its will is weakening. The brain is almost defeated.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
no matter what you heard.
Taking position.
Pawn to cleric 4. This is our chance. Farewell to the Netherbrain.
This is the only outcome.
Victory awaits.
Joy! To arms! Wait, no! To swords!
This is my time.
Impossible! Pain! Fear! Terror! Reconsider! Assess! Implore! Surrender!
Subdued. At last. This is its death rattle.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me! Become absolute!
This is it, soldier. This is what we fought for. Time to end this thing.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of Karlach's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
We could do it, you know. We could rule the world.
No more tadpoles, brain. It's time to die.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn lipids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain. Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are entirely your own. And then, gravity. Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
Nobu, this moment is for savoring. There will be tadpoles to snack on later.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mizora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things. The city will cheer us, but it is the triumph itself, the very smiting of evil, that should lift our hearts.
The parasite. It's withered. Dead along with the netherbrain. I am cleansed. I will never be a filthy geich. Only mild offense intended, of course. You did the unthinkable. And I'm grateful for it.
It's all right. I knew what I was doing.
I will ensure that all Githyanki know your name. And your sacrifice. What you have done today will start a fire that rages across the astral plane. With their lost prince returned, my people will burn away Vlaakith's corruption. And it is all thanks to you, the Illithid who defied a netherbrain.
I did, didn't I? I saved the fucking world. And I think I might live long enough to tell the tale too.
I thank you, my liberator, my savior. My people are leaving, and I must leave with them. Come, Lae'zel. We will free the Githyanki and dismantle the Empire. Let them be imprisoned no longer.
Mother Gith battled for liberty, but it was only here, with you, that I learned what it meant to be free. Orpheus, I'll remain here. My destiny is for neither you nor Vlaakith to set. It is mine alone.
I will not say I'm pleased with your choice, but I will wish you good fortunes. Whatever may come, you are still Talok Morgir, sister in freedom.
Kulas!
Farewell, Gestil, my liberator.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city, smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Giontha. If I salvage the stones, I could retrieve it. Perhaps even wield it. With the crown in my hands, I would be unstoppable. I would be more than the greatest wizard who ever lived. I would be a god. Why should I? Mystra has dictated the terms of my potential for long enough. The crown would grant me control of my own destiny at last. Think of all I could achieve. All that I could grant to those whose ambitions are restrained by Mystra's yoke. I could raise a new Netherrealm, right here in Faerun. I thought you were wise enough to recognize that I am not the man I once was. It seems that we've come to an impasse. I stand on the threshold of divine ascension, and you would try to keep me grounded. It's not your fault. I can hardly expect you to understand. But nor will I relinquish this chance because you're unwilling to imagine a world where I succeed. I will never forget you. That much I promise. And if one day you feel differently, I will be honored to have you as my chosen.
Gale will be but one god among many, doomed to squabble, to battle, to vie for control and power. And we will be the pieces they play with. But somehow, I do not think Mystra will allow it to happen so readily. He chose his fate. Now, let us make the most of ours.
Right. I suppose there is more work to do now. What first?
I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh no. Oh God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
Back to the shadows. But perhaps not forever. Even the worst affliction can be fixed with some amount of sacrifice.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
I abandoned my prince for you, and for a path of our making, away from the astral. And yet I breathe all the more free. Little is lost, so much is gained. Last night will be forever branded into my memory. But now, I must think of future days. I am forever marked by Vlaakith. The Undying Queen's knights will chase me across Faerun till I draw my final breath. Our lives will be colored by blood red and death black. Are you ready for the battles to come? Yes. A bond so tight, Vlaakith would unleash the Astral Sea's fury if she ever tried to break it. When the Red Dragons come, we will shake the skies with their screams. The ground will be soaked and spoiled wherever the Kithraki fall. We will not be their prey. They will be ours. Hells, talk of battle set my heart beating all over again. Back to bed. I have more tricks to show you.
For 6 months, Lae'zel has been learning the ways of Faerun by your side as you traveled together far and wide. A letter written in a frail hand interrupted your adventures, an invitation to a gathering of former allies, those who stood with you against the Netherbrain 6 months ago. The location is familiar, and though the road is hard and long, you would not miss this for the world.
Thou wert called here, some above, some below. For with thy bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
There's a face I know. Well, the living gods, I need.
It's on my mind. It's good to...
My dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I would bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? But believe you me, my friend, not a word could have been written without you. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you could just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Very well. Mustn't think about any of the local brains. Far too tempting.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw. Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you, And Owlbear, I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
What a lovely occasion this is. Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. I'm sorry I haven't reached out. I guess I wasn't sure what you'd make of me. I've changed so much. But then again, you have too. Stubbornly yourself, aren't you? I suppose I used to be too. But this evolution has shown me parts of myself I never knew existed. For example, my favorite food used to be mutton chops. Do you know what it is now? Brains, soldier. Brains. I thought I was good at cracking skulls before. Now I've got it down to something of a science. Or maybe more of a religion. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. Thanks, soldier. It feels that way too. It's been wonderful to see you again. Reminds me of old times around the campfire. We used to think becoming a mind flayer was a fate worse than death. I wouldn't trade my life, this life, for anything. Funny how things change, isn't it? Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will.
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. Ah, how nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh? Baldurians simply Get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three, but nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again. Ah, yes. Forgive me. There wasn't much time to offer hospitality with an elder brain looming over the city. They ask about you, of course. But I keep them a little too busy for stories. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
There you are. I was hoping you'd make your way over. Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up. I'll forget all that. The stars light and the moon's glow. It's so good to see you, and I've got so much to tell you. The Hell Hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated, the devilkin I've bled, the stories I could share. I don't suppose you'd indulge me. You'll have to choose one tale and one tale only, I'm afraid, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx, the three-tusked Orthon, or the invading Goristroy? Styx devils, they're called. They usually prefer the frozen wastes of Stygia, but Zariel's got a few of her own for guarding the River of Blood. Fat bastards, all of them. Was on the heels of a Merrigan who'd been stalking the wild hills and sprinted a little too close to the Styx. I felt my mind start to drain, an Amnitsu speciality. Bought just enough time for one of its minions to grab me and dangle me over the river. Could feel the Styx tugging at my memories as I hung over it, eager to drink me dry. Good thing I never touched foot in the hells without my companion wolf, Lily. She was just the distraction I needed. She nipped at the minion's heels and I leapt from its grasp, unsheathed my short swords and rushed at the Amnitsu in a fury. When we'd finished, all that remained was a pair of paltry wings atop a pile of viscera. I won't lie. Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was hellfire. So I stoked new fires in myself using the lessons my father once taught me. The blade of Avernus is a ranger, a hunter of the most hellish prey. Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen. fresh air.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up. Honestly, so have I. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever. You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it. I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Truly. Must I? You presume a great deal. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all. Do you ever rest? Think of all those poor, budding adventurers looking to make a name for themselves. Take some time off and give them a chance, why don't you? Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves. I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars. Don't be a stranger.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders. Love is a powerful tonic. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends. Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. I'm sorry I didn't seek you out that night. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. And with Cazador still out there, I could hardly show my face. So, I retreated to the sewers to hide, bide my time, and enjoy all the rats one can eat. Well, you've been busy, haven't you? Away having new adventures, living your new life. Although, if you wanted to help now, I certainly wouldn't say no. You're more than capable of facing him and killing him. One hopes. Well, of course not, darling. We've all seen what you can do against a giant floating brain. Vampire will be a walk in the graveyard after that. Thank you. I can't tell you how much this means. But killing vampires is a decidedly daytime activity. For now, we can simply enjoy the night. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Though I'm going to get very hungry very soon.
Boo! We are not dreaming! It is our old friend! Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began to wonder if he was some blind bug who had only dreamed himself to be large and bulksome. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly, so Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of head wound. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? The Zent may keep their peace, so long as Minsk may keep his steel. We shall see which is the first to shatter, hm? But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling tales. How have you filled your days since we tore the sticky tyrant from the sky? Aha, the lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a companion? Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. That is none of Minsk's business. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself presentable. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
Keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these?
What a lovely occasion.
I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I needed it.
Jacques von Fendu. I thought watching you slay Vlaakith's hunters in the cliffs of Sword's Teeth might be the month's pinnacle. But I was wrong. Being right here, with you, is an infinitely greater pleasure. Alas, I can only rest so long. I've got wind of a Githyanki outpost hidden deep in Chult, the last of Vlaakith's Sword Coast strongholds. I mean to slay every last Sarth and Kithrak, and I mean for you to join me. You always did have a great fire in your belly. I'm glad to be the one to keep it kindled. Now go, mingle while you can. That's the word, right? Mingle? I won't be far. Not tonight. Not ever. Love. Until I knew you, I thought the mere idea a joke. A weakness indulged only by lesser species. You proved me a fool. I am forever grateful. A taste I will never grow tired of.
Oh, right. You. Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dekarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right? I can almost feel Gale here. Among his friends. In you. Some part of him remains, doesn't it? That thing's no more than a shadow of the real man. Nonsense. Though it captures some of his more insufferable qualities. Oh, what I wouldn't give to snuggle up on his lap one more time. Just once would do. Oh, I couldn't possibly. Unless... well, perhaps it's not a terrible idea. Gale would be quite pleased to know we've made friends, wouldn't he? Perhaps you'd be willing to come meet Gale's mother sometime? She misses him so. And I know it would do her heart a world of good to discuss her son with someone who knew him as he was. Jolly good. I'll tell Mrs. Dekarios to be expecting you. Oh, she'll be delighted. Things just haven't been the same without himself cluttering up the place. Enjoy your party, dear. I've heard you quite deserve a celebration. But I wish he were here.
I'll take that. What's inside?
Though I'm going to get very hungry very soon.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these?
think about any of the local brains. Far too tempting. Pity mutton chops no longer hold any temptation.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.
I didn't know you well back then. I blame it on all luck and vain. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel it's not my fault, I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins, I broke my chains. There's more to do and I still want to live.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death.
Cold as
I feel your heart beat in my soul, our futures bound, our bodies know. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk, invite me. It's not my fault, I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins, I broke my chains. There's more to do if I can only leave. I can't go yet, don't let me die. I'll never stop until I'm done. But just tonight, maybe I'll rest in peace. I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. I hear your heart beat in my soul, our endings bound, our bodies know. I can't go yet,
don't let me die.
I want to live,
my only one. There's more to do if we can only live. The clock won't stop and this is what we get.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
I owe you a debt of gratitude. You were the spark of ambition that rekindled Gale's ambitions after Mystra had so cleverly put them to rest. And you are the reason he survived the appetites of the tadpole for so long. I will admit, I was angry when you failed to deliver the crown to me. Those who break a deal with this devil do not usually live to tell the tale. All is forgiven, though. The crown came to me as promised, and the method of delivery was spectacular. Gale harnessed its power, as Carsus once did, and he too fell into ruin. He was halfway to heaven when the orb detonated, tearing him apart. All that remained were ashes, blood, tears, and the crown. Always the crown. The decimation of Gale did not even leave a mark on it. Ambition, courage, hope. They all burn you in the end. I will bend the crown to my will now, and use its power to bring the 9 hells under my command. When that is done, I will need new worlds to conquer. It won't be long before I come knocking at your door. Ta-ta for now.